we discovered more if it was first discovered in around 1994.
Oh.
The standard reticulated python is all in shades of brown, but since she's the tiger morph, she has more of a yellowish golden color to her.
She's shiny.
She's shiny right now just because she's going to begin shedding very soon. Oh. Normally her color is a lot more vibrant, but she's going to begin to shed. Her skin's very dull. The reticulated python grows to be the longest species of snake, anywhere from 25 to 30 feet long. But right now Tig is only around 17 feet, so she's still going to have plenty more growing to do. In this next habitat, we have Rocky. He's our rhinoceros iguana, and they get that name because of the big pseudo horn you can see on the top of their head. It just resembles the horn a rhinoceros would have. They are found all throughout Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Will grow to be 3 to 4 feet in length and on average weigh around 20 pounds. He is an omnivore. Mainly we feed him all different types of fruits and vegetables, but on occasion we will put in a small mouse there for him to eat just as a little treat. They come in a variety of many different colors, anywhere from gray to green to blue and sometimes even a brownish color. And over the years they become very trusting in man. They get very close and comfortable with people. And that's been a bad thing for them because they've been hunted to almost near extinction. In this first habitat, we have our 2 albino Burmese pythons. They're the same species, just like the snake that we have at the front of our store that you can either pet or hold in a picture.
Oh, there's
our smaller snake in this habitat is our female. Her name is Butters. Her head is the one that's moving. And then our larger male, his name is Blondie. His head is next to hers, and he's just the one that's not moving.
So strange.
In our next habitat, we have Casper. He's our albino Argentine tegu. They will grow to be the largest species of tegu, anywhere from 4 to 5.5 feet long, and normally weigh around 30 pounds. The normal coloring you'll see on them is they're black with yellow and white speckles all along their spine, but since he is an albino, he does have more of that off-whitish color to him. And we named him Casper because look all along his side near his rib cage, it looks like he has that brown birthmark. It's actually not a birthmark, those are his internal muscles and organs showing, so he's see-through just like Casper the ghost would be. They're also one of the smartest species of lizard. They make great pets. They can be trained to be walked on a leash, called by name, or even use a litter box. We have Sophie. She's our sulfur Asian water monitor. She's actually not an albino, even though we're in the albino hallway. She just has a sulfur morph to her body, which makes her a lot lighter than they normally would be. They're relative to the Komodo dragon. They'll grow to be 9 feet long and weigh 100 pounds. Their tail has no nerve endings whatsoever, and she can use it like a baseball bat. It's strong enough to break every single bone in the human body, including our skull and our femur, which are 2 of the strongest bones in the human body.
Seriously?
They use their tail to smack and break their prey's legs, but the animal still manages to get up and stagger away. Just like the Komodo dragon, they do have a bacterial substance in their saliva. So they'll bite the animal, the bacteria then sinks into the wound to cause a deadly infection, which they then stalk the animal for days on end until it does finally fall and die, and that's when they'll eat. They're more of a scavenger. They prefer eating dead, decayed meat rather than freshly killed meat. Eating all of that dead, decayed meat does bring more bacteria into their saliva, which then helps them in catching future prey.
This is weird.
In this next habitat, we have Sunny. He's our albino American alligator. He is the same species of alligator, just like chompers we had in our first hallway. The only difference is that he's albino, male, and slightly aggressive.
He looks like he's dead.
He's aggressive just because he's blind. He can only see out of his peripheral vision. He's also starting to form cataracts in both of his eyes, so pretty soon it's going to be impossible for him to see at all. Sunny is one of 5 true albino American alligators alive in the world today.
One of 5?
Wow. Him and his 4 brothers, they were all born on a Louisiana alligator farm, and all of them happen to be albino. So it's not known if there's any more of them in the wild. They're the only ones known in captivity. And the chance of seeing an albino alligator is about a 1 in 25 million chance. And that is the same chance of being struck by lightning twice in one lifetime.
Wow. We better go buy some water.
Standard reticulated python, the last reticulated python on our tour today. She's also the largest of the 3 reticulated pythons we have in our zoo.
Wow.
Right now she is 21 feet and weighs 200 pounds. And did you both happen to see that snakehead in the display case right before the entrance of the tour with all the teeth in the mouth? Teeth that's in the mouth is the actual teeth that a snake has. All snakes do have teeth, it's only the venomous ones that have fangs. They have around 90 tiny little fishhook-shaped teeth in their mouth, and their teeth are pointed backwards. So if a snake were to bite down, especially the one the size of Oliver, it's pretty much impossible to escape from the snake's grasp. It used to be known the only way to get the snake to release was to chop its head off, so you could physically take the teeth out yourself. but it's been more recently discovered that they cannot stand the smell of alcohol. So anything like rubbing alcohol or nail polish remover, once they get a smell of that pheromone, it makes them retract their teeth and release. And their teeth are also retractable, just like a cat's claws. Oh, wow. So if you guys ever got the chance to see a snake yawn or open its mouth, you would rarely ever see their teeth. They normally only expose them when they're about to strike at their prey. Wow. In this next habitat, we have Big Bertha. She's our green anaconda. She is the world's largest green anaconda in captivity at 325 pounds and is 22 feet long. We got her around 5 years ago from a river in Venezuela, and she was actually 50 pounds heavier then than she is now, just because of the time she was pregnant. About a month after we got her, she ended up surprising us by giving birth to 60 babies.
60?
Yep. And anacondas, they're in the boa family. Boas give live birth. It's only the pythons that lay eggs. So when Bertha had all 60 of her babies, they were alive and in her habitat at the time of birth, and they're also 2 feet in length. When we realized she was giving birth, we had to take the babies out right away just because the mothers have a tendency to eat their young. Because for the whole 6-month gestation period, while a snake is pregnant, they rarely eat. So once they give birth, they're starving, and the closest thing to them that they can eat is their babies. Bertha ended up eating 16 of hers. We then took the other 44 and sold them all off to breeders. And anacondas get the nickname of being water boas because they're the only large snakes that are aquatic. It's a lot easier for them to move through the water than it is to move on land. And the anaconda species are found all throughout the Amazon areas in countries like Venezuela, Brazil, and Argentina. Suriname red-tailed boas. They would normally grow to be 8 to 10 feet long, but it's not uncommon to find a snake growing larger than the estimated rate just because snakes grow until they die. They also have a very bold color to their body, which makes them known to be one of the prettiest species of red-tailed boas. And they can be found all throughout Central America, mainly in the trees, because these snakes are arboreal, which means they love to climb. If they're in a tree, they can actually reach right over the tree branches and snatch a bird from the air. They have very fast and accurate reflexes, which makes them very successful hunters. In this habitat, we have our fly river turtle. They're also known as the pig-nosed turtle. Her name is Miss Piggy. They're the only freshwater turtle to have flippers like a sea turtle, and they also do have a soft shell. Oh. Since their shell is soft, they have no protection. They spend 100% of their time in the water. It's physically impossible for them to ever live on land. In this next habitat, we have our Mata turtle. His name is Hoover.
Oh, look
we
at
named him Hoover because they have the ability of sucking in a fish anywhere from 3 to 5 feet away. They'll take in the fish, take in the water, swallow it all down, keep the fish in their stomach, and then spit the water out all at the same time. They're found in the Amazon, and they're all the dead, decayed leaves fall to the river's surface. That's why their head is very ugly and nasty looking. It's just to represent a dead, decayed leaf. And then here we have Delilah. She's our Burmese python. Right now she is the world's largest living snake in captivity, weighing over 380 pounds and is 25 feet long. We used to have an old Burmese python named Baby, but she ended up passing away in 2006. She was 403 pounds and 27 feet long. Baby was 29 years old when she died, and Delilah here was only 13. So since she's so young and already near the same size that Baby was when she died, we estimate that by the time Delilah dies, she will weigh at least 500 pounds and easily break Baby's record. We have Bob. He's our Sumatran dragon. They're another relative to the Komodo dragon, but unlike the Komodo, they have no bacteria to their saliva, and they are very nice. They're aquatic. They can swim up to 30 miles per hour and 30 miles a day. They use their tail to propel themselves through the water, and they can also hold their breath for about an hour underwater. Since they can slow their heart rate down, they won't use up as much oxygen as they normally would, and they can be found all throughout the southeastern Asian areas.
Neat.
Nile crocodiles are highly aggressive and the most successful predator of man. They kill over 300 people a year. At top speed, they can run 30 miles per hour on land, swim 40 miles per hour in the water, and they can also jump 10 feet in front of them and 7 feet into the air. Females are going to be 15 feet long and weigh 800 pounds. Males are going to be 20 feet long and weigh over 2,000 pounds. And that's why we have a female in here. Since she's a lot smaller, it's easier to maintain a habitat for her. And they're also found back during the prehistoric era, so that does make her a little mini dinosaur. Back during that time period, they're found to have a body 50 feet long and their jaw is only 7 feet long. Granted, they have shrunken down in size since then, but they still are the largest and the top predator in Africa, which is in their natural habitat. They are found all along the Nile River, which is located next to Egypt, and that is how they got the name Nile crocodile.
Wow.